Hello, everybody. Welcome to Between the Ropes. I'm your host. My name is Kristie Wilson, and this is definitely huge. It's my first episode on StreamYard, so hello, everybody. So this is going to be an absolutely fun show, as you can see, because it's got new topics, got all kinds of stuff going on here. So, if you want to follow BTR right here, and you can also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/ETB Network. So let's get into the whole thing here. So I'm going to start out with a big one. Saturday night's main event is tonight. Washington, D.C. is the city. And it's John Cena's last match, what I will get to at the end of the show. Yeah, I'm switching things up a little bit here, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to start with the matches on this 4-match card. I'm going to give you picks as well. This is an epic moment because this is John Cena's last match, his last big pro wrestling event before he retires. And by the way, check out Callum McClurg's article on Substack about John Cena. It is worth a read. It is really, really, really good. So definitely check that out. He has got great stories. It really goes in depth on the whole thing. So check out Callum's article. It is fantastic. Now let's get to my picks and what I think might happen. I'm going to go ladies first. We have Bayley versus NXT superstar Sol Ruca in one of the matches of the card. This is pretty interesting. I never would have thought these two would have faced off against each other, but you know what? It's happening. And I think it's going to be fun. I know some folks out there are wondering, is Sol's tag team partner, Zarya, going to turn on her? I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't, but I do expect a heck of a good match. Do I see Bayley putting Miss Ruca over? Yes, I do. Well, we'll see what happens with this one. I'm going to pick, my apologies to Bayley, I'm picking Sol Ruca to win this match because I think this would be a victory over an established veteran like her would be such a huge boost to her confidence. I really think it would. And, it would be really beneficial for Sol to win this. So I'm going Sol Ruca on that one. Next match on this card, this was ginormous, but of course we know another match is way bigger than the one I'm going to talk about. Cody Rhodes versus the newly crowned NXT champion Obafemi, Shawn Michaels. You, sir, are pushing your luck with me. You're pushing your luck, sir. But obviously it must be a reason why this is happening, why Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, whose shirt I am wearing today, yes, is going to go up against a guy who just beat the dude who beat him for the title before, Obafemi beating Ricky Saints. Let's just say I do think Obafemi should be on the main roster, but I think going up against somebody like Cody Rhodes, who is huge, if Femi beats Cody, this is definitely going to be a major boost of confidence for him. But I do think, however, I think Cody is definitely going to put Obafemi over and show that Femi is ready for the main roster when the day comes that it's his time to go up to the main roster and really kind of run roughshod through the roster because, I look at Obafemi and I see a potential star, someone who can main event, different pay-per-view events, win championships, you name it. He's already shown signs he can do that. On the main roster, he can be, I think, personally huge. So, but I am a Cody fan through and through. So I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. I am picking him to win this. Now, another match on this card. This is pretty interesting. I don't think this is for the tag team titles. I think this is just for bragging rights. It's the young OG, Javon Evans, who got a huge win last night on SmackDown against The Miz, and TNA X Division champion Leon Slater. These are two top young guns in this business. Huge star potential. Leon Slater already on his way as the TNA X Division champion, and they're going up against someone who made that X Division championship relevant. Mr. AJ Styles. Yes, future TNA Hall of Famer, future WWE Hall of Famer. We know he's retiring next year. He and his tag team partner, Dragon Lee, going up against these two young studs in what should be, I think, regardless of who wins, and I hate the fact that I'm going to have to make a pick here because you got the established veterans in AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the young upstarts, the young studs, as I call them. So this should be, I think, regardless of who wins, it's going to be a fun match, but I'm going to have to go with the veterans on this. I'm going AJ and Mr. Dragon Lee to win, even though I think Javon Evans and Leon Slater are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That's going to be a big thing. So it's the phenomenal one and the Dragon definitely winning. Now I'm going to go to the big match on the card, and this should be the main event. This is the result of the last time is now Torment. Gunther won it, so he is John Cena's final opponent. Do I like this? No, I don't. I absolutely don't like this at all because Gunther already retired Goldberg. He already retired Goldberg, who's a legend in his own right. Do I honestly think for 1 minute that Gunther is going to be able to beat Cena? Yeah, it is a possibility. I know there are people out there who think Gunther is the man, that, oh, he can handle this, he can do this. He's not afraid of Cena. Well, he should be afraid of Cena because I'm 100% convinced. Excuse me. I'm 100% convinced that if this retirement tour is going to end on any note, it should end on a good note. So guess what? I'm picking John Cena to win this match. So I want Gunther to retire another legend like he did Goldberg, and in what I personally felt was a very disrespectful manner, to the point NBC had to cut off Goldberg's retirement speech. I don't see that happening, regardless of whether Gunther wins or loses. But I'm picking Cena because I think Gunther needs to be humbled. If he's not humbled, roast a wrestler for you, Gunther, Ring General. Yeah, get ready. So that is definitely something I consider. Those are my picks. Leave comment in the chat who your picks are. So I'm going to go to the next topic, which is we just had the recent release of, as you all know, and I totally started off on the wrong foot here, which is Street Fighter, the live action version of a classic video game series coming out in live action movies, which is unbelievable as far as I'm concerned. Now, they ended up casting a whole bunch of really interesting individuals for this film, and two of them really caught my attention, which is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Now, photos and everything came out. Roman looks extremely menacing, as I think it's Akiro, which is great. And then Cody Rhodes is and if I mispronounce his characters wrong, Street Fighter fans, don't kill me for this. Please don't. It's Goulier. He looks like an army guy. He looks like an absolute army guy in this one. Teaser trailer came out, and this movie's due out October 16th of 2026. So all you Street Fighter fans, get yourself ready for what is probably going to be, based on the teaser trailer, this looks fun. This looks exciting. There's probably going to be a shit ton of action. Sorry for the language. A shit ton of action in this one. There's gonna be a lot of fighting in this, which, it's called Street Fighter. Why not? And if you played the video games and everything, then there's gonna be a ton of fighting in this one. What the story is gonna be is what's basically what has me intrigued by this. It's like, and I know that, I know Cody and Roman. I don't know how big their roles are gonna be in this film, but hopefully they're good enough. And I want to see how these guys do, like especially Cody and Roman. And I think there was another wrestler in there whose name is completely eluding me right now. He's another wrestler. He's huge in the cast of this film. I mean, it is insane how, especially Cody and Roman, were balancing WWE responsibilities while filming their scenes for this film. And it's just unbelievable. So, oh wait, there's another one in here. Yeah, Gato. I think he's a big-time Japanese. Haruki Gato's E Honda is another pro wrestler who got cast in this film. And so, yeah, this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting film. Like I said, what is the story? I couldn't say. I honestly couldn't say what the story is because, I don't have access to the script. I don't work in Hollywood. But Cody and Roman being in this film, and just seeing all these other, like, I'm looking at ones of, like, actor Andrew Koji playing the legendary Ryu in this film makes it definitely is really cool. So That's going to be something to consider. So go ahead, make your plans. Circle October 16th, 2026 on your calendar for the live action Street Fighter film. They're probably going to be, probably the first official trailer is going to be coming out, and then you've got all the other stuff leading up to the movie. Okay. That was fun. That was definitely fun. Now, another big thing happened this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, and this is where my wrestler of the week comes into play. Definitely comes into play. Whereas we have the first ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions were crowned, and it is the Babes of Wrath. Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron beating the Timeless Love Bombs, Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa in a pretty damn good match. I just wish the crowd had gotten a little bit more alive, but then again, it's probably not a large venue in Atlanta. I did goof up last week. I said Cardiff, Wales. That's for Collision. Dynamite was in Atlanta. That was my fault, so I'm correcting myself on that. But this was really crazy to see, watching these two teams, which I know is face versus face, but I did say last week, this can work. You can make it work. And I think they did make it work. The fact that this ended with probably the two most unlikely people you would think would win this tournament and win those titles to be the first ever, that's something for Harley and for Willow. That's something that'll never be taken away from them. That is always going to be something that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. They're always going to probably look back on it very fondly, that sort of thing. I was definitely started rooting for them, especially after they beat both Mercedes Moné and Athena. I'll get to Athena later. Man, have I got a lot to say about that woman, I'll tell you. I just know, just seeing Willow and Harley with those tag team belts, raise them high, and then seeing Toni and Mina show them respect. I like that. That is friggin' just awesome. It is flippin' awesome, and I love that. I absolutely love that. I love seeing respect shown between wrestlers that does not result in a beatdown. It absolutely does not result in a beatdown. So there's that. And I just feel that this is definitely going to be a step in the right direction. Are we going to see more tag teams form? Because AEW does have a pretty good number of female talent that can get together and really challenge Willow and Harley for those titles. I mean, who do I see doing that? I know many are saying Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. Possible rematch with the Timeless Love Bomb? Maybe. Could they face up against Megan Bayne and when she's medically cleared from injury, Penelope Ford? I mean, it's a possibility. What about TJ, Ty Mello, and Anna Jay? Hopefully Anna Jay's contract situation is sorted out to a point to where she can come back and she and Ty can really do their thing. But we'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that. There is let's just let these two ladies, Willow and Harley, enjoy their title reign. This is definitely one topic. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to do this because I've heard so many things about this show called WWE Unreal. Oh, excuse me. That wasn't good. Oh, sorry. I blame Wild Cherry Pepsi in this big tumbler. It's so good, though. So, I have heard people just absolutely just obliterate this program that is on Netflix. Already had a first season. People really seem to watch it. They really seem to like it. But then you have, of course, the critics just basically ripping it, saying, why did you have to pull the curtain all the way back and kind of expose everything? Well, we're in a different time period. We're in a different period. I think people want to know what goes on behind the scenes. They want to know what the deal is. They want to see, how do these pro wrestlers deal with injuries? Now I'm going to get to what this is about. Season 1 did so well that Netflix decided to renew the show for a second season, and that's going to start airing January 20th. So that's next month. So if you love this show, get yourself ready. And the person I obliterated in a Roast a Wrestler segment last week. Becky Lynch. Yeah, she's so, I don't know what to say about that. That woman is just going berserk on the whole thing. Like, her crash out is still going. And let's just say there's always the possibility she might not have the spotlight might not shine on her as much in this show than before. But if you love WWE, unreal. Like I said, second season happening, and it should be interesting to kind of see more of the lives of these wrestlers. I know there are some people out there who just don't give a shit either way you look at it. There's just people just like, well, I don't want to know. Or they're big believers in the term known as kayfabe. That's fine. You can be a big fan of that all you want, but in the times we're living in right now, where everything is way more accessible than it was before, with X, with X, like Twitch, Kick, that sort of thing, all these sites, TikTok, you name it, it's like everything is way more accessible than it was before in the past. So we're going to be finding out way more about people as we go along. Like, do we get to see, what kind of relationship do Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have as a real life married couple? I mean, we're going to find out definitely eventually. So there's definitely all of that going on, and it should be fun. I'm definitely going to say it's definitely going to be very, very interesting, to put it that way, in the worst imitation of a well-known fictional character that I can muster. But okay. Now, I'm basically going to be doing a shout out to someone who I gotta thank thank a lot for doing this. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Busted Open Radio's Dave LaGreca. If you watch Busted Open Radio, him and Bubba Ray Dudley, or Bully Ray, however you want to call him, they broached the topic of Becky Lynch's massive crash out. So I'm going to give LaGreca a shout out, because here's the thing. I roasted Becky Lynch last week for her crash out and all this other crap. I think Dave LaGreca put it in better context than I did, because he absolutely ripped her a new one. Probably ripped her a worse new one than I did last week, and I thank him for it. Thank you, Mr. LaGreca, for that. He completely made so many great valid points, like basically Becky saying she's going to be boycotting Monday Night Raw. He's made it clear the wheel of WWE, as he said, moves quickly. Fans can forget about her, This is all about a what have you done for me lately sort of thing. Yeah, and if she were being a real good competitor and everything, she would demand a rematch against Maxine Dupree. I mean, my God. I talked about Saturday night's main event. I mean, holy shit. That could have been a match on the Saturday night's main event card. You could have done that. But Becky had to be a crazy crash out lunatic and just say, oh, I'm going to boycott Monday Night Raw. Yeah, well, LaGreca let you know you're being a fucking idiot. So thank you, Dave LaGreca. Busted Open Radio. Shout out. Now, we're going to get to something that is really awesome. I mentioned our new AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. Well, guess what? They're my wrestlers of the week, the Babes of Wrath. Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron. These two homegrown AEW stars. These two on a show called AEW Dark, which I think you can watch the videos on AEW's YouTube channel. I would highly suggest you check it out. Just check it out. It is pretty amazing. These two met. It was like second match of Harley Cameron's wrestling career. Willow Nightingale, worked her way through the indies and everything because of AEW. And these two just literally worked their butts off. Sure, Harley Cameron, definitely the comedic type who utilizes her incredible talents. Like, she's very musically gifted. She can sing. She plays piano. If you do, I think on X you can find a video of her playing the piano and singing a little something in promotion of Shop AEW.com's 12 Days of Christmas sale event that they're having. She can speak other languages. I think Mandarin Chinese is one that she can do, which when I first heard her speak, I was like, holy crap. And she's also good at ventriloquism. If you love the Minnie Monet puppet, yeah, that's her. That's Harley Cameron doing her thing as a ventriloquist. And she's so cool. And also, she can sing. I think there's some videos out there. I think she did a couple of songs with Shotzi Blackheart and Scarlett. One of them was a cover of Screamin' Jay Hawkins' I Put a Spell on You. These three, holy crap. I mean, Harley Cameron is a woman of many talents. She's definitely a woman of many talents, and she works hard. She works very hard. She wanted to be a better wrestler, and I think she has gotten better. She's had matches against Mercedes Moné. She's had matches against Athena. Her teaming up with Willow Nightingale for this tournament, for this tag team title tournament, I think was brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant, because they just clicked. They absolutely clicked. And their tag team name, Babes of Wrath, hey, I'm all for it. And I'm sure people caught on to it. The moment they beat Mercedes and Athena, that's when I personally as a fan started thinking, these two can definitely go far. I really think they can. And they did, and they won the titles. First ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. I love it. And now I'm going to go to Willow. Willow Nightingale, I have been a fan of this woman. Just something about her just made me a fan. Maybe it's just she's full of positivity. I call her Miss Ray of Sunshine, because when she smiles, lights up the room. I mean, she is incredible in the ring. She was a TBS champion. Sadly, she's transitional, and I hated that, because now we know who's holding that title hostage, and I've roasted that bitch twice in the very short history of the show. That is something that AEW, why? I will never understand that at all. But Willow is one of those, she's worked hard, same as Harley Cameron. Just, she busted her chops. She's won matches, she's lost matches. She's, competed for championships. She was the first ever New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She's been CMLL Women's World Champion. Like I said, TBS Champion. Now AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. I mean, holy crap. Willow and Harley, pardon me, they are incredible. And I feel that they deserve the honor of being named my wrestler of the week. I usually do one, but I couldn't deny both of them this honor. I just couldn't, because to me, it wouldn't have felt right if I praised one and left out the other. And that would not have been a good thing. The Willow, Harley, Babes of Wrath, thank you. My wrestlers of the week. Thank you, ladies. Congrats. And I hope you have a really awesome reign as AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. Now, I'm going to get to another segment. And this, very well known, I usually save it for the end, but something way more important came up, but I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this. Here we go. Yeah, you read it here in the banner. And if you're wondering, why am I going after the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion? Well, I have a fucking reason to do so. Athena, your real name, Adrian Palmer. You are, without a doubt, an excellent wrestler, excellent pro wrestler. You've had success in WWE when you were known as Ember Moon. You teamed up with Shotzi Blackheart. You won Tag Team Gold in NXT. You were even NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, unfortunately, you went up against Asuka and you didn't win, but you definitely showed Asuka that you were someone not to be messed with. You were tough. But now, since you left, went to WWE, went back to your fallen goddess persona, which I think you had on the indie scenes before. I'm going to say something about this. Yes, you didn't win the TBS title. I did think you were going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill for that, but that didn't happen. You go to Ring of Honor, and in December 2022, you win the Ring of Honor Women's World title. Normally, I would be praising you for that. I'm not. And there's a reason you, woman, are in my Roast a Wrestler segment this week. It's been 3 years. I'm going to say this right now. Athena, you need to lose the goddamn title now. Lose it. You're turning into Roman fucking Reigns. You're holding onto the belt for way too long. Yes, I know you're a heel. I get it. You're doing your job. You know, you're doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. But I cannot bypass the fact you are becoming like Roman Reigns, where you're holding onto a title for a long, long time, very long, and you have no intention of letting it go. There have been multiple women, like the two I just praised in my Wrestler of the Week segment. Both Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron have faced you for that Ring of Honor Women's title, and you just don't want to give it up. Heck, shit. One of the people that I really thought would dethrone you, Billie Starkz, you have buried this young woman. Buried her. And furthermore, how are you similar to Roman? You mainly cannot defend that championship on your own. You have to have somebody there trying to save your ass every goddamn time. Every time. You've had Billie Starkz do it. You've had, what was it last time when you went up against CMLL star Persephone at Final Battle? You had Diamante in your corner, and I'm like, uh-oh. This is not good. This is so not good. I almost want to ask Tony Khan, what the hell is he waiting for? Wait, Athena, do you have some creative, what do you have, blackmail material on him? What do you do, threatening him or something? Did you say, pay me a crap load of money and I will give up the belt? No. You're getting nauseating, all right? Your MIT faction is an absolute effing joke. It is similar to Roman Reigns' bloodline. And yes, he is going to get mentioned a lot because she is reminding me of him. You are Ring of Honor / AEW's version of Roman Reigns. Can't win the title on your own. You always need help. And you basically effing bury every person you have faced. What in God's name are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Mercedes Moné to step up to the plate and basically beat you? Because if you do that and you let Mercedes win the title, I'm sorry, that title as devalued as it is now, it's going to get devalued even worse with Mercedes holding it. Athena, drop the motherfucking title. Drop it. Give someone else a chance. This can't keep going like this. I mean, goddamn. Yeah, I know Deonna Purrazzo is back, but she's the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion. Do you want her to drop that belt and have her come after you so you can bury her too? Bitch, no. I don't want that. I sure as hell do not want that. You need to lose the belt. And you need to let someone else have a nice title reign with the belt. And you need to go up to AEW and go after individuals. You can go after Mercedes for the TBS title. You can go after Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. There's 2 titles right there that are yours for the picking. Pick one. Go after them. But drop the Ring of Honor Women's World title. It has no value and it has no relevance. You have held onto it for way too long. And I'm going to get crucified for saying all this stuff. But this is my honest to God opinion. Athena, drop it. Let me get a drink in here first. That's much better. I needed a little bit of that cherry Pepsi right there. And if you want to know, go find this at Starbucks. By the way, Starbucks, BTB could really appreciate a sponsorship. Please. I love your coffee. I love your frappuccinos. Oh, all right. Yeah. I did say normally I would do Roast a Wrestler last, but something came up. And I feel as though this had more importance than anything. Tonight, Saturday night's main event, Washington, D.C. I already made my pick for his last match, but I'm going to talk about it. John Cena, this is his last match against Gunther. I've already said I think he's going to win. He's my pick to win. This is final match because I really personally feel like he should end his career on an absolute high note. as much as a lot of wrestling fans feel like this retirement tour has not done him any justice, yeah, his 17th world title reign, a lot of it effed up because of The Rock, because of Travis Scott. I'm not going to get into that because as far as I'm concerned, that happened, that happened months ago. So I feel like in that situation, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones here. Cena has just accomplished so much in his career, whether it's working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, granting wishes, and leaving smiles on the faces of so many children. Whether it's doing stuff in Hollywood, like doing Peacemaker, where people probably approached him and said they think it's fantastic and that he's really great in it. Doing all these other films and stuff, like working with, doing a Fast and Furious movie, working with Amy Schumer, doing different kinds of things. It's just shown his greatness. If you read Callan's Substack article on John Cena, like I said earlier, he goes into more detail on Cena living up to his motto: loyalty, hustle, loyalty, and respect. Yes, his handshake over the face, "You can't see me," is iconic. His music's iconic. I mean, John Cena is, if iconic was in the dictionary, there needs to be a picture of him right next to it, because Cena is the example of iconic. Yeah, people were divided. Some people think he sucks. Some people think he's the greatest thing to ever walk the earth. There's no denying his greatness. This is a guy, if you read Callan's article, worked as a limo driver. He tried pursuing a career in bodybuilding. He was a collegiate athlete. It was just, but he had a, I guess you say he had a hustle. He had a work ethic. Like, he worked hard to get better as a wrestler, develop his moves like the attitude adjustment and all that other stuff. He's been a witness to big WWE moments, like his rivalry with CM Punk. Of course, we all know about the pipe bomb because Cena was in the ring after getting his ass kicked while Punk's shooting at the mouth, talking about everything. A lot of it did happen. A lot of it did come true. A lot of it, Punk wasn't lying. Cena listened to all of that. Cena's had great rivalries with a lot of great individuals besides Punk, who I mentioned. He had a great rivalry with, I'm going to pull actually his action figure off my desk, Adam Copeland. I'm going to flip him around. There's Edge. He's still Edge to me. But I love the fact that, he had all these epic rivalries. Like I said, he had it with Edge, Punk. There's a lot of different, he even had one with Roman Reigns. Video on X, check it out from, I think it's WWE's UK Twitter account, or maybe just their main Twitter account is Roman Reigns has the "Thank you, John" sign and gives him the salute. And yeah, there were moments, it's like, sure, Cena had low moments, like he got F5 by Brock Lesnar like 12, 13, 14 times in a SummerSlam match that was absolutely effing ridiculous. And heck, Lesnar came back and F5 Cena at SummerSlam after Cena lost the title to Cody Rhodes earlier this year at MetLife Stadium. I mean, it definitely led to something, but shit. Cena, for all intents and purposes, no matter what you think about him as a person, no matter what you think about him as a human being, he definitely deserves he deserved all the accolades, all the honors, all the the stardom he achieved in WWE. His loyalty to a company, no matter how many changes it went through. I mean, heck, he even stayed loyal to the company even after certain wrestlers were leaving to go to promotions like TNA and especially AEW. I mean, eventually I'll have to do kind of like an in-depth thing if it's possible. I'll have to ask about it later at some point, involving our upcoming podcast show, Benchmarks on ETB, where we could do where I can do a bit of a deep dive into All Elite Wrestling. So we'll see about all that. But Cena, I mean, no matter what, he's walking away a legend. Definitely should be, and it seems is inspired many people to get into the business, no matter how hard it is. If you show that hustle, that loyalty, and that respect, in his case, he showed all that, and he reaped the benefits of it. He's got fans who love him, fans who are inspired by him. He is going into Saturday night's main event tonight. This is his last match. I'm sure he's nervous as hell, but I have faith that he can win his match against Gunther and just walk off into the sunset with a victory under his belt. One last victory. And you know what, Mr. Cena, sir? I salute you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. All the joy, all the memories, everything. Thank you. Thank you, John Cena. All right. That is going to be it for me. You can check. I will be back next week. New episode, new topics, new wrestler of the week. Let me get this banner out of here. I'm done. Here we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. You, of course, can find me, Twitter, everything. You can check out BTR right here. You can check us out on Twitch, on Kick, here on YouTube. There's that right there. YouTube.com/ETB Network. Check everything out. We've got all our stuff like Gridiron Gurus, Gridiron Gridlock, Press Row. You can check out Callan McClurg's podcast, Mr. Small, Empty the Bench Small Market Edition. He doesn't hold anything back. And of course, I will be back with more topics, more crazy, more roasting wrestlers, more picking, more singing the praises of wrestlers. I mean, geez, it's going to be a lot. So thank you, everyone, for watching. I will see you folks next week. See you later.